Those pictures are from yesterday, and it happened several times the day. This was the reason why I didn't leave the camping site. But today it's really beautiful. Everything is packed. I'm ready to leave. I will hike along the sea to the east side of the sea in direction of Perugia. Yes, you see it correct. It's a bike line, a miracle in Italy. And they built this bike line around the sea, which is about 60 kilometers. And it's really a dream to hike on it. I look at this, another abandoned house, really beautiful. I really wished I had money. Yeah, probably it's a little bit loud here on that street, but look, the trees and everything, it's just perfect size. Not too big, not too small, it's just great. And next to the lake. I really hate that from the bottom of my heart. You are planning something, everything goes smooth. I was fast. I arrived here at 12:30 at the camping site, and then they are telling me the camping site is closed. There was a change of the owner and they make a major rebuilding, putting all over tiny houses, and they reopen in July or something like that. Now I can decide going 2 kilometers back. They said there would be a camping site. I haven't seen one. Or 6 kilometers to the next village. And then I rather go 6 kilometers to the next village. This is better for me. I hate it. I really hate it from the bottom of my heart. Well, sometimes you have to go backwards if you want to go forward. That's sad, but that's true. So I decided not to go to this other village because the next stop will be in Perugia. If I would go to the next village, I go there, and then when I leave it, I have to go back on the same street for several kilometers till I will find another road to Perugia, and that's really bad. And why I should hike today 6 kilometers more just to hike tomorrow 3 kilometers back? That's no. This doesn't make sense. I can walk a lot, but yeah, it's really unnecessary things I hate. So I'm happy here, it's silent. The camping site has seen his best days, obviously, but it's really good for me. Yeah. Then here's not so much going on as on the last camping site where you never had got your silence. And I've got no neighbors. You never know. No neighbors is always good. What is the core of human suffering? The core of human suffering is a profound theme explored in many philosophical, religious and psychological traditions. A widely held view, particularly in Buddhist philosophy, is that suffering arises from desire or craving. This desire can be for material goods, experiences, or even intangible goals such as recognition or love. Constantly longing for something we do not have, or wishing to preserve states or things that are impermanent, leads to a cycle of dissatisfaction and suffering. Another dimension of suffering is the inability to accept reality as it is. This also includes confronting one's own impermanence and that of all things in existence, which often leads to anxiety and suffering. Psychologically, suffering often arises from our thoughts and beliefs that shape our perception of the world. Negative thought patterns or unrealistic expectations of ourselves and others can lead to emotional and psychological pain. Ultimately, it turns out that the core of human suffering is deeply rooted in our interactions with the world, our desires, and our psychology. Overcoming or understanding this suffering often requires profound personal insight and sometimes a spiritual or philosophical reorientation. For me personally, suffering also has something to do with my karma. Therefore, I know that I cannot escape suffering and that I have to accept suffering in all its facets. The way in which I react to suffering and the responses I give are not subject to karma. I can let the pain of suffering kill me mentally and sometimes physically, or I can use the pain as a drive and set an engine in motion that transforms the suffering and creates a completely new world. How do you deal with your pain? Do you let it dictate and control you? Or have you found a way to use the energy of suffering for yourself? And how is that supposed to work? Many viewers are probably asking themselves. Of course, I have no recipe for this. I can only speak for myself. Every ban, every drama, every negative moment immediately triggers the opposite in me. Bans can be avoided. Dramas can be resolved and redefined, and every dark moment holds a light within it that I search for until I find it. I have always and without exception found it, because we live in duality. There is no single state that is not opposed to something. Without good, there is no evil. Shadows can only be created by light. Suffering would not be recognizable or tangible without joy. And if I have learned one thing, it is the fact that the strength of hope allows us to endure everything that life throws at us, and that good has many faces and usually has little to do with our ideas. And the little suffering, the little daily suffering, well, they are based mostly on our egoism. And if we are able to stop our filthy, useless, bad, evil ego, we will not suffer that much anymore.